Kind day to you all, I'm Kinsmark, and this is Chapter 8 of Let's Play Escape from Tarkov. And I've heard the call that the server wipe cometh, so you know what that means. It's time to live dangerously. So I am completely strapped up. A Comtac headset, a fast helmet, Ford armor, and the fanciest AK I own, along with one of the new Glocks that came along with the update that added the mechanic to the dealer's list. So let's waste no more time, and I think I'll cut onto the shoreline this time, because I think that headset could come in incredibly handy here since it amplifies incoming audio, so I think I can actually hear anyone coming from far away, and that could come in handy on this map. I actually haven't ever used this thing, aside from the firefight that I picked it up in, because I was just completely terrified of losing it. And color me concerned already, because I think I just heard a shot close to me. Anyway, because it actually came complete with casket mag, so I have some serious capacity moving forward. Oh man! I can hear my own footsteps so much more clearly. So maybe that sound I heard was just the amplified audio of me cracking my own rifle up? Like, jeez. That is so loud, because I haven't used the Comtac headset either. I've just heard from a friend of mine that rolls much higher tier most of the time in this game than I do, the effects that it grants. Man! I can hear everything! Alright, that's cool. I should also click full audio on. There we go. Audio? Auto even. I'm just so focused on the audio. Oh yeah, those full audio headsets. Cut those off. Civilians don't need those. That's military grade hardware. So you know, some poor schmuck in a Chinese factory made it. Alright, anyway, let's see. Crap, I heard that. Alright, so I am aware of threats far earlier than I once was, although I have to acclimate now to gauging how far away sounds are, because they're going to sound closer to me since they're louder than I'm used to hearing. So, jeez, that is so stuttery, for one thing. Could my frame rate calm down? And like it actually sounds like the audio is coming through a clipping mic. That's an interesting touch. Oh jeez. Alright, I'm just gonna hang out in here for a minute and see if I can figure out where that's coming from. I assume that it's coming from the hospital, or sorry, the health resort, since that's always the firefight zone on Shoreline. And yeah, that is that way. So, man, could my frame rate just plane out for me? Because it's so jittery all of a sudden. I haven't had that issue with that. Although the game has updated since I last played it, so maybe that's the cause. Oh, crap. I heard that. Alright, that's coming from ahead of me. I can't tell what's aimed at me anymore. I can tell this headset is useful, I just haven't learned how to use it yet. Since I have to adjust my ears to it, sort of. Anyone? I think the action concluded. So, I'll just carry on about my merry way and see if I can find some fun at the health resort. Because I don't have a mission for this episode, I should clarify that. I am just here to cause havoc and mayhem. Because all told, there ain't much point in collecting items for missions and all that, because all the dealers are about to get reset anyway come the wipe, so I may as well just have fun. Have fun. Man, I put on an accent for that for some reason. I think my head was searching for another word. I couldn't consciously tell what it was, wow, I meant to say what it was though, and what it was so came out. I can only assume the 3 concussions I have had in my life, that's actually correct, are affecting my speech patterns more every year, and I am comically concerned about that, like, actually, so, like, I am actually fearful of the fact that I may have cognitive issues as I age. That's just a thing I'm gonna have to live with. Happy topic, I know. Anyway, getting into this area, this is where things could get dicey. Although I shall cast the die at this point. Curiosity. Come to think of it, is the phrase "could get dicey" in reference to dicing something up as in for food with a knife? Or casting the die as in chance and gambling so things could turn out any which way? I've never thought about that. I don't know. The curiosity is an English major. Cut me some slack for now. These are the things I think about. Alright. I think, since I am aware of the fact that cool weapons spawn on the roof, I'll head up there and see if I can find anyone searching for the same. I think I'll also start moving a little slower here, because I can't rightly hear anyone else moving if I can't hear them over my own stip-stomping. Oh god! Oh. The corrugated stairs are always so loud! Ah! The headset only amplifies it. Shit! Ah! 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 Alright. Clearly, he held his ground earlier than I stopped sprinting because I had no idea he was there. Alright. Consider my ego checked, Mr. Misdemeanor. Come on, you're not the doc. Stop pretending. Because I had hoped I could roll a lot harder than that, and one ambush cut all those hopes off. Ain't that just like life? I'd feel far more upset if I weren't aware of the fact that I was about to lose everything anyway. So, change of plans then. I think I may attempt a factory run armed with a Saiga. A suppressed Saiga, come to think of it, because I actually haven't shown off the incredibly robust modding system for all weapons in this game, including sidearms, though some of those are fairly limited in the changes one can make to them in this series, and I can honestly say it's one of my favorite aspects of the game. It's just a little dry, so I haven't spent all that much time on it in episodes so far. Suffice it to say, one can change out almost every component of a gun, and one can collect swappable pieces for all of them, and components do have different statistical effects. For instance, if I click into Inspect here, one can tell that foregrips add to ergonomics, and that is essentially the handling of a gun, how responsive it is, how smooth one can aim with it, etc. And one can't just straight up upgrade damage or something. That's a very gamey sort of mechanic common to so many other games in this genre, because this, as simulationist as it is, really only factors in things like flatness of trajectory, things like muzzle velocity, rate of fire, etc. So one actually has to have a considerable knowledge of firearms, aside from just checking metadata and stuff like that for the game aspect of it, to come at this with any confidence of what to do ahead of time. And I like that about it, because it's detailed. So for this, I think I shall change out, I think this, yes, is where I can attach a hexagon sound suppressor, and that thing is massive. So let's also unfold that, and I'm just curious to see that all folded out there in the modding menu. Can I scroll out? I can't, because this thing is just huge and takes up more of the screen than I can see at one time. So, cool. I think I'll just attempt to crush a factory run, so armed then. I could either see amazing returns for this, or I could get killed immediately. So, let's see. Can I safely spawn? Because I am actually critical of that aspect of this. Gate 0, 3, and cellars. Cool, so the standards as far as I am concerned. Alright. I am safe for now. I am also familiar with this spawn point. So, let's see here. Sodium. I could swear I haven't ever seen that. I think that's a new spawn. Alright, I'll take this slow and careful. There we are. Because that is gate 3, so that is one of my exits. And one of the few I can actually access without a key. One shot dropped him. Alright. I like the suppressed Saiga. This thing could clear house on a cramped map like this. Cool. I just wish I had a chest rig, because I only have the one mag to carry around with me, so I'm gonna have to manually fill it with shells every time I go to reload. And that is a problem. So I'll have to try and make every shot count. I am currently rocking shot, though, instead of slugs, so there is at least that small mercy as far as accuracy is concerned, though, again, since this is fairly simulationist... Whoa! Shit! He heard me coming, and, shot ain't so good at penetrating a steel plate and a chest rig, so... Charles! You glorious madman! Yours is victory today. Congratulations. Alright. I, can't even tell how long I've recorded for this episode, because I've had to cut so many lulls from deaths. So I think I'll close here, and I can't promise that I'll cover this again ahead of the coming wipe, because, I mean, I just haven't got all that much left to use. I may attempt an SKS sniper run, because I've got that, and maybe another scav run just for fun. Clearly, as I have demonstrated again and again and again in this series, no plan survives first contact, so I may end up doing all of the above in a single episode, because that just depends on the circumstances in the field. So, I think I have one more in me for this session. I'll conduct that, and then likely close out until the server wipe happens, and then I shall start anew, and I'll likely stream this game considerably more often from there, because I feel like a contiguous series after this point, since they are likely to do more wipes in the future, just ain't gonna hold up all that well, because I'm constantly gonna have to tread content ground that you've already seen as far as assignments for dealers, etc. So one can expect more episodes of this. They just aren't going to necessarily continue the narrative progress of my understanding of the game. I'll probably come at this armed with far more knowledge about it in future episodes after this session, so the next episode or so that you see. And I think I've, at this point, covered a first-timers, like a new player to the game's experience with it thoroughly enough, and I can actually start educating you guys more efficiently and confidently in future content after that. So, stick around for that to come soon here on the channel. Thank you all kindly for watching. I'm Kinsmark here at Lessable Press, and as always, I wish you all good gaming and Godspeed.